Before we answer examples 2 and 3, let us first review the law of exponents. Some of the laws of exponents we have x raised to n times x raised to m. Here we have a common variable or a common base, that is x. You just simply add their exponents to get the product, that is retain the common base, that is x, raised to n plus m. Example, x raised to the second power or x squared times x cubed. The product should be x raised to 2 plus 3 for the exponent. Therefore, we have x raised to the fifth power. Another law, quantity x raised to n plus quantity raised to m. This time, you have to multiply their exponent, the exponent inside and outside the parentheses. For example, let's say we have x raised to the second power plus quantity raised to the third power. The product should be x raised to the second power times, or rather, x raised to the second times 3, or 2 times 3 for the exponent. The product is x raised to the sixth power. Okay, we will use this exponent, law of exponents, in our examples. For number 2, x raised to the ninth power minus 27. Both terms are perfect cubes. What is the cube root of x to the ninth power? We will divide the exponent by the index. So for the solution, we have 9, x raised to the ninth power divided by 3. Therefore, the cube root of x raised to the ninth power is x raised to the third power. For the second term, that is 27, it is also a perfect cube. And the cube root of 27 is 3. Because 3 times 3 is 9 times 3, we will get 27. So, for our binomial factor, it should be the sum of the cube root of the first term and the cube root of the second term, and that is 3. Okay. How about the trinomial factor? For the trinomial factor, you have to get the square of x cubed. What is the square of x cubed? So, using this law, we will simply multiply the exponents of x. What is 3 times 2? So, we have x raised to 3 times 2. Therefore, we have x raised to the sixth power. Next, multiplying the two terms, our first term in the binomial factor is x cubed. Second term is 3. The product is 3x to the third power. And then, get the square of 3. What is the square of 3? It means 3 times 3, we have 9. So, for our trinomial factor, we have x to the sixth power. The middle term should be 3x squared, or rather 3x cubed, and the last term should be 9. So, since we have the sum, or rather the difference, so it should be the difference. The sign should be the same as in the given. So, we have the difference of 2 cubes. Therefore, in our binomial factor should also be the difference of the two terms. But for the signs of the trinomial, we have positive and positive. All the signs should be positive. Okay, next, how about number 3? In number 3, we have also the difference of 2 cubes. Both terms, again, are perfect cubes. Give the cube root of the first term. How will you solve for the cube root of 64? cube root of z to the 6th power. 64 is a perfect cube and the cube root is 4. Okay. 4 times 4, 16 times 4, 64. How about z to the 6th power? Divide 6 by the index. 6 divided by 3 is 2. Therefore, we have z raised to the 2nd power. Next, second term is h raised to the 15th power. 15 is divisible by 3. So, h to the 15th power is also a perfect cube. And the cube root is h raised to 15 divided by 3 for the exponent. We have h raised to the 5th power. So, for our binomial factor, we have 4z squared. Then, copy the sign, that is minus. Next term should be h to the 5th power. Okay. For the trinomial factor, get the square of the first term. What is the square of 4z to the 2nd power? Let us follow the second law. It should be 4 squared is, or rather 4z squared, closed quantity squared, can also be multiplied as 4z squared times 4z squared. And that is 4 times 4 is 16. Then z squared times z squared. Let us add their exponent using the first law. That is 2 plus 2 is 4. So that is 16z to the 4th power. Other solution, this can also be solved using the second law. We have 4 raised to the 2nd power and z raised to 2 times 2 is 4. Multiply the exponent inside and outside the parentheses. The exponent of 4 is understood to be 1. So multiplying 1 by 2, therefore we have 4 squared. And then simplify 4 squared. 4 times 4 is 16. And then you retain z to the 4th power. So you will get the same answer. 16z to the 4th power. Okay, next. Let us multiply the two terms. The two terms are 4z squared and h to the 15th, or rather to the 5th power. What is the product of the two terms? The product of the two terms is 4z squared h to the 5th power. And then the last is to get the square of the second term. Our second term is h to the 5th power. Getting the square of this, multiply 5 by 2, we have h to the 10th power. So for the trinomial, our first term is 16 z to the 4th. And then the middle term is 4 z squared h to the 15th power. And the last term should be h raised to the 10th power. And for the signs, since this is the difference of the two terms, signs should be positive, all positive. So these are now the factors of the third example.